Working with the wrong people and advisors and consultants who are incompetent and not regulated can literally destroy the prospects of an innovator founder visa for you. In this video, I'm going to share some examples of things and patterns that you should avoid like the plague in order to save your money and not get a refusal for the Innovator Founder visa. So let's get into it. Now, as always, I would like to start the video with a brief introduction about me in case you haven't seen my videos before or you don't know who I am. I'm a business consultant and I primarily work with international entrepreneurs who are seeking to relocate abroad on a business basis. Now, I do focus on the UK and the Innovator Founder visa because I have scaled a tech startup in the UK. I've scaled it to about 30 UK cities. I started it after graduation from Newcastle University, where I obtained my master's degree in law. I navigated the UK's business immigration system, as I mentioned, resulting in British citizenship. So that's me. So I've pretty much been in this journey. And if it wasn't really for COVID-19 and my startup being forced to shut down, I probably wouldn't be a consultant now. But here we are. And I've been doing this consultancy for about 2 years, as I noticed that this is a segment that I can relate to firsthand. And obviously, since I've been in the startup ecosystem for, about 10 years now, then this is definitely my domain. So that's me. Now I'm going to get into the patterns that you should avoid and people that you should avoid in this industry, because they will promise you certain things. They will tell you that they will help you with the innovator founder visa, etc., but they're incompetent. They're not regulated, and I will get into the immigration regulation part towards the end of this video, so keep watching. Now, over the past 2.5 years of doing this, I've come across a number of individuals and firms who claim to assist with the innovator founder visa, whether it's consultancy or business plan writing, etc., etc. So primarily, I'm focusing on the commercial services. And not necessarily immigration lawyers or solicitors. But one thing I have to say about immigration advisors and solicitors is that if they're not regulated by the Immigration Advice Authority in the United Kingdom, you definitely want to avoid working with them. More on that, because I have a business partner who is regulated by the Immigration Advice Authority, and she handles all the immigration inquiries from my clients while I focus on the commercial side. So that's number one. The other one that you definitely want to avoid is people on social media who you have no means of verifying. I'm talking about people that comment on posts with DM me so we can chat more. I'm not saying maybe there is a legit person somewhere there, 1 out of 1,000,000, but generally, if you can't really verify them and you can't verify who they are publicly, then that's a big red flag. So, and there's a lot of people who you can verify publicly. So I think you know what the sensible decision in that case would be. Another instance that I have seen is companies that provide consultancy for this, and they also say that we will develop your software and technology for you as well. Now, the big problem with that is that that's pretty much against the immigration rules. If you look at the guidance for endorsing bodies, what it says is that if the innovation element is outsourced to a third-party provider, then those businesses are not deemed to be innovative. Okay? So that's completely against the rules. Maybe it's good from a commercial standpoint that, yeah, we do the consultancy, we do everything else, and we'll do the software, so everything's there, sit tight while we take care of everything else. No, because that's against the rules. Whether the rules are good or not, that's not the subject of this video. We're talking about getting an endorsement and what the rules actually are. So that's another one. Another example is anybody providing any form of templates. I'm not talking about financial forecasting templates because I provide those to clients, people who book a consultation with me. I'm talking about business plan templates. And I will tell you why. Imagine you get a business plan template, yeah, and you fill it in and you submit it to an endorsing body. Would you imagine how many other people are getting that template and potentially applying with the same template? How does that make you look? Because there's only, 4 endorsing bodies. I would say technically 3, because the 4th one, the Global Entrepreneurs Program, it's a whole different procedure. So out of these 3, it's likely that they will see the same template over and over. That doesn't make you look very good because they think you're not really capable of writing a business plan yourself. It doesn't create a very good impression. And that's the first thing that they see with your application, which is your business plan, right? So avoid templates, okay? If you need business plan help, I provide writing assistance services as well as business plan reviews, although I recommend to all clients to try to write their business plans themselves. For a number of reasons, I've done a separate video on this one as well. So there is that, because you need to vet anybody that you work with very well, okay? The margin of error in this visa is quite low. That's the problem. Now, in order to mitigate this, and as I would like to believe that I am a leading consultant in this industry, not just because of my past startup experience, but that's because I've worked with a lot of startup founders, some of whom have raised millions in venture funding. I also work with venture capital firms, but most importantly, I've been in your shoes. I've been the immigrant. I moved to the UK when I was 17 years old on a student visa. I got my master's degree at 22, and afterwards I started a tech startup and scaled it to 30 UK cities, and we almost closed a venture funding round as well. So, but since the unique aspect of this visa is that it doesn't just require immigration expertise. And as I said, make sure that any immigration assistance that you get is from a regulated individual or entity. In order to mitigate this, I have partnered with an immigration consultant who is a graduate of University College London, and she has extensive years of experience at major immigration firms, while I take care of the commercial aspect of things. So you're getting a full end service of business and immigration advisory in this process. So you don't need to come to me and then go to and find a different law firm or immigration consultant and pay them a fee. We deal with everything on our end. And I believe our credentials, they speak for themselves. For more information, please visit my website. And if you have any questions regarding services, get in touch with me via the contact form on my website. And best of luck to you, and see you later.